Welcome to episode 167 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, joined by Dan Reamer, Matt Belton today.
Hey-o.
It's pretty consistent, 3 people right now.
I know.
Yeah, doing a good
I
job.
don't know how we're swinging that.
I should maybe invest some time in a real intro if everybody's going to be here.
I'm sure something's gonna. I'm sure something's gonna give eventually.
You think episode 160, whatever the hell we're on, is the
7.
right time to invest in a real intro?
No, but it's getting closer.
Okay, all right.
You don't want to go too soon.
I figure we're already there. You know, either we're there or we're never going to. You know.
I'd like to start by going, ha.
That's a good one.
It's
To the point. It's easy and it's
Just
simple and to the point.
hello,
Sloth
friends.
Boyd.
Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 167.
Today.
Okay,
we're
Bob
speedrunning
Ross.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
There's nothing wrong. Beat the devil out of it. Yeah, that's what he had to do with that brush. That's how you clean
Yep.
it off.
Dip it in a little paint thinner, and you beat the devil out of it.
Gosh, remember when he took over Twitch?
Oh yeah, took over my life. You mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant too. Remember when that was the only thing I watched?
You mean there was a whole 40-hour work week where I didn't do anything except for get paid to watch Bob Ross?
I thought about quitting my job and just going to paint. I don't know. I'm terrible at painting.
I didn't think about quitting because I was just hanging out watching Bob Ross anyway.
But I wanted to paint along with him.
Oh yeah, set up an easel in the office, bro.
That won't be weird.
Right.
It'll be fine. People will walk in and be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I'm painting, and
Laying
it's
down
happy.
Laying down some Van Dyke Brown right now is what I'm doing.
Right, a little alizarin crimson.
Uh-huh.
I don't see what the problem is.
Here you go, put some liquid white all over everything.
Then you want to mix in a little bit of phthalo blue. Not enough to turn it blue, just enough to give it the hint of blue.
And then paint a tree.
And paint happy trees.
Happy trees.
Make little X's in the sky.
You know, however you want, it's your painting.
2 hairs and some air, and now you got some clouds.
He was very empowering because he's like, this is my painting. You do what you want on yours.
Mm-hmm. I just have his voice in my head telling me stuff all the time.
That's unfortunate.
I leave work 10 minutes early. He's like, you're the master. You go if you want.
Right. This is your world.
Yeah. And your boss fires you.
We know that ain't
And
happening.
you have to go to see a doctor because you're like, Bob Ross told me to do it.
Right.
Yeah, and then it just starts a whole new complication. So
Right.
Now your life's different.
Your life is different. When Bob Ross controls
The
it.
girl you thought you were going to marry some other guy because
he doesn't hear Bob Ross.
what you thought
Mostly,
was 48 hours of time was 48 weeks of time, and turns out you're insane. Yep.
insanity is not a bad thing sometimes.
Or maybe
Christ.
maybe it's everyone else that's insane.
We got dark. Real dark.
That's what we
Bob
do.
says it's fine.
Oh no. Oh no, are you okay?
Video games.
Yeah, video games.
Did you guys play any?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd you play, Matt?
We all played some together this week. I played Galaxy, the free game for PlayStation 4, which is really fun. It's like Asteroids and Defender and all the cool space shmups.
Has some Yar's Revenge mixed in there?
Yeah, it's really cool, man. I enjoyed it. And it's got a really cool intro. And it's a really cool game company name, 17-bit, which I like. And then I played The Last Guy. I'm replaying Hotline Miami because it was made in the same program that I'm using to make a video game. So I'm seeing what all they did and did right to kind of see if I can get some cool ideas of how to make what I'm doing feel bigger and better, and maybe, you know, what are some layers of polish that I wouldn't have naturally thought of. So Hotline Miami, and then we all jumped in and played a little bit of our league.
We did.
And you had fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
I want you to say that.
Well, we only played like 4 matches.
But you had
and
fun.
I quit.
That's all right.
So I quit before I couldn't have fun anymore.
If you're waiting for that, you'll never quit.
Right.
I want you to understand.
All right, I get that.
Yeah, you did play some our league. Ryan?
Yeah, it was not a...
You played some
not a bad
our league too. Or should I say our league also?
Yeah, as well. Rocket League 2 I'm not ready for.
No, I'm
but the world isn't ready for it.
Right. So I played some Rocket League. I finally picked up Plants vs. Zombies 2 Garden Warfare. I had to wait for a sale on that thing, but that game's just like the first one. Fun. A good time.
It is a lot of fun. It would have been nice
Easy.
if you'd have got it when I was still playing it so that we could have played together, but now I may have to jump back.
Right, seems like you could just play it again.
It does seem like a viable option. But I'm in the middle of something right now.
You pull your head out of the Division's ass and jump on Garden Warfare so we can play. And then I played the Trackmania Turbo open beta that's going right now on everything, but I played on PS4. That game is super cool. Like insanely fast, like 400 miles an hour fast.
It doesn't sound fun to me.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
It's like
way too fast.
Project Cars meets Hot Wheels. All in a nice arcadey package.
Like that for sure.
Yeah, so it's very like fun, fast, and they're little like if you do the challenges, which is what's in the beta, it's just little snippets. So most of them don't take over 40 seconds to complete, so it's really quick, bite-sized. But yeah, anyone who's interested, that beta has closed by the time you hear this podcast. But my assumption is they'll do another one because I think release is not till May, maybe.
That's my alarm.
What happened, dude? You okay?
I forgot to turn my phone on mute, and so we got a little bit of Tears for Fears right in the middle of the podcast.
Now let me ask you this: why would your alarm be set for 30 minutes after you had to be up?
Right. No,
30
minutes. 30 minutes after you had to start recording.
Right.
All right. So we're recording within my natural time frame of being up in the mornings. My first alarm goes off at 7. My second alarm goes off at 7:15, and then at 8 o'clock is my alarm that says, "Hey, if you're not on the way to the car, you better get that
You're
way."
that guy?
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
So what I do is I have one alarm, and when it goes off, you have to get up and go get in the shower, or you can't go to work.
I don't. I have one alarm that allows me 2 snoozes.
I've got just the alarm to wake up, and I'll pop open Reddit.
It sounds like it's a pre-wake up alarm.
No. 7 o'clock hits. I'll wake up. I grab the phone. I get on Reddit, and for 15 minutes, I read the news or something like it. And at 7:15, the alarm goes off, and that's the one I know to get up, feed the animals, take a shower, drink some coffee if I'm going to. I walk the dog, and then if I'm not on the way to the truck at 8 o'clock, the 8 o'clock alarm goes off, and that's how I know, like, all right, wrap it up.
My God, can you not just trust yourself enough to know that you'll be where you need to be?
Yeah.
Dude, my watch has alarms on it, too. My watch has the 7 o'clock alarm and the 8 o'clock alarm on it.
I'm confused as how you function as an adult.
I'm confused how anyone else in the house sleeps with all your alarms going off.
Yeah, all the
like
alarms,
crazy.
that would piss me off.
I mean, I like to be on time.
So just do it.
I'm on time, and
Me
I don't
too.
have any. One alarm. You get up and you go.
One alarm,
I mean,
2 snoozes.
Listen, they didn't make alarms for guys like you. They make alarms for guys like me. My watch has 5 alarms. I use all 5 of them. I don't have to, but they're there for.
You got one telling you to go home, so you don't work all night.
I've got one that says it's 5:30. It says it's wrap it up. So.
I'm kind of confused about you wearing a watch.
Why?
No, I like watches.
I
like
hate
wearing a watch.
watches.
I'm on Team Watch on this one.
No, I hate
Yeah.
watches.
I like my watch.
Did you play any video games?
I did.
You see what I did there? I just took that segue and ran with it.
Man, good job.
I did. I played a lot more of The Division.
Oh, really? I didn't see that
I
coming at all.
know.
No.
I know you
Wow.
did.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Played some Rocket League. And I picked up a little something on Sunday. I went and got myself an S7, or Galaxy S7. They were giving away a free Gear VR with it. So I picked that up because it was free. You can't beat that price.
Yeah.
And I hooked it up, and I put it on my head, and I played a little bit of the Gear VR.
Also known as puke in your own mouth.
That did not happen to me.
That's what you know it as, man.
That did not happen to me. I did not have a problem with it.
Have you played any games on it?
I haven't played a whole lot. I played one game called Darknet, where you are a virus that has to attack programming nodes. And some of them are protected with firewalls, some of them have information in them, different things like that. It's a really cool game. I really enjoy the way it works. The problem is I don't have a controller. I need to get a controller for it so that I can use with the Gear VR, because right now I have to use the buttons that are actually on the headset.
Also,
And
you look like you're giving yourself a head massage while you're trying to play a game.
yeah, and it's like I'm constantly, pushing the button to communicate with my troops.
Strange.
Roger that, over and out. That's what it feels
Copy.
like. But so I need to get the controller, but I can understand the appeal for some people. For me, it feels very gimmicky. It's not something I would have paid for. I got it free, so I'll use it every now and then. But it's not my thing. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay. I don't mind it to pull out every now and then and try something. No, I do like watching Netflix on it.
This is the
Because it allows you to sit in somebody else's house.
Right.
Because you get to sit in like this loft in Colorado, and you can you're watching like this big TV that's on the wall, or you can like look to the left and look out at the beautiful mountain vista, or you can look to the right and see the stairs going up to the loft you sleep in, and it makes me want to live there.
It should let you pick, though. You should be able to pick like some shitty apartment in New York.
Yeah,
like,
you
with
may be able
like
to
a
at some
busted
point.
floor model.
I haven't played with it that much, so I don't know. You may be able to.
But what's weird is that you're turning on like Talladega Nights, and then you can hear it playing in the background. But what you're really doing is looking at somebody else's house. How weird is that?
Pretty neat.
It's pretty stupid. I'm here to watch movies. Nuh-uh, not today. I'm here to check out this bro's house.
Well, you're doing both, though. Multitasking.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're visiting. It's like you're on vacation.
Now, what they should let you do is just put you in the house and let you wander around. You should be able to get up, go take a nap, go to the fridge.
See, I don't want to walk around.
You should be able to. You don't have to. That's the beauty. You do it your way. I'm going to make a sandwich.
Right out, you go up there and pilfer through their drawers, find their money, see if they got any guns hidden somewhere.
Right.
See,
Where the kids sleep.
I can definitely see how it's
Wow.
going to appeal to a certain group of people. But for me, it's just kind of like 3D movies, I guess. Yeah, they're kind of neat to do, but I don't want to watch everything that way.
I hate 3D.
I mean, the first time it was neat. The first time you did 3D, it was neat. It's like, wow, this is cool. And then you're like, yeah, I'm not paying $4 extra for that. Or I'm not. I don't anyway. I'm not hating on 3D. It's just not for me.
I think you mean $6 extra also.
Whatever it is, however much it is.
$13 extra.
And that's all I played. Other than that, I just Daredevil Season 2 came out on Friday, so I started watching that.
Yeah, I've heard that's incredible.
Did you watch Season 1?
Yeah, Season 1 was all right.
I really liked Season 1.
I didn't think it was the best ever, but I really like Vincent D'Onofrio.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually really held that season together for me. And the guy that plays the blonde-haired guy with the long hair that was in Butterfly Effect, I can't ever think of what his name is, but I like him. The guy that plays Matt Murdock is pretty cool. I feel like they did Daredevil
well,
right. Yeah, they did it right. I'm just not a big Daredevil fan, so they didn't nothing about the story drew me in. I wasn't learning new information, but I also wasn't falling in love with the same old stuff, seeing it through a different light.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear this stuff with the Punisher is pretty badass.
It is. I've only watched 3 episodes, and they're taking a very slow burn with the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in 3 episodes, and you still don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Obviously, I know why he's doing what he's doing. But if you don't know who the Punisher is, you don't know why he's doing this. And it's it's kind of going back to the Joker Batman argument. Who
Mm-hmm.
created who?
Yeah.
And they're kind of having that argument, even though they're both in a certain sense good guys. So it's always been very much about the Catholic guilt, and the Daredevil series has always been about guilt and dealt with Catholic themes very much, and redemption and those kinds of things. And a lot of those are with the Punisher's interactions are coming out. They're having taking very existential ideas and trying to develop them. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
It'll probably be good. That first Daredevil season was definitely worth watching.
Anybody see Pee-wee's Big Holiday yet?
I have not watched that yet, but it's in my queue.
I started it.
We saw it pop up.
I started it.
Probably not gonna watch it.
Did Joe Manganiello show up yet?
Yes, but I'm not much farther than that.
Okay.
It's Pee-wee.
If you like Pee-wee, you're gonna love
Super
Pee-wee's
well
Holiday.
done. Yeah, super well done. Netflix just killing it. They spend so much time and energy on like every project. I don't know how they do it.
They are definitely good. Good.
I don't know what's happening. I'm losing my voice. You can't stop talking.
It's too early to do a podcast.
It is
That's
early.
what's happening.
Let's talk about the biggest news. This broke right after last week's podcast posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
PlayStation VR finally gets a price and a release window.
Boom.
So the price $400. The release window October 2016.
The release window seems just right because after that nobody's gonna care. The price seems like too much.
By comparison, Oculus Rift goes on sale later this month for $600. The HTC Vive will arrive in April for $800. But of course, you don't have to have anything other than a PS4 to play the PlayStation VR. It's worth noting.
Yeah, I was gonna say which is kind of true. It's kind of a true statement.
It's worth noting you do have to have the PlayStation camera.
Yes.
There are games that also will require the Move controllers, but at the very least you have to have the camera. So there's $60 or $50 that you have to spend that's not packed in here if you don't have one.
Yeah, I've pretty much given my idea of VR, so this is I'm not gonna be picking this up or pre-ordering it.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's.
I mean, we're Ryan. You've not put on the Gear VR, and I'm not saying that's anything like PlayStation VR. But Dan, knowing what you know about putting a VR headset on now,
Yeah.
Are you compelled at all to play video games in that way?
No. I mean,
Me either.
I'm not. I want
It's
to.
a really
Yeah, it's a very cool gimmicky idea. I do not want to do all that moving around and looking around and Minority Report moving shit around with the Move controllers. I don't want to do that. I want to sit in my fucking chair and I want to use minimum my thumbs.
right. It's like I'll say this until it comes out and I'm proven otherwise. It is a very, very clever, intuitive way to replace the right analog stick.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. Like, I don't understand how it justifies a $400 price tag. That's not anywhere in. Like, sure, the technology costs a lot, and you want to buy that and put a little 1080p TV screen 2 inches away from your face. And, I understand that, like, that technology costs money, and the development of that technology costs money. But the actual worth of that technology is a $64 controller. And I don't see that. I don't see it taken off the way that the video gaming world wants it to.
Well, here's the thing. I think something else you need to keep in mind is that we are what you would consider seasoned gamers. So in that sense, we're kind of curmudgeonly old men who are stuck in our ways.
Right.
There's going to be a certain customer base that is going to eat this up. And they're going to, they're younger than us. They're going to be probably the 12 to 24 range is going to eat this up because it's a new and fresh take on what they're doing. They didn't see the jumps that we've seen from Nintendo to PlayStation 4. They've seen PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4. While there's a jump, it is not near what we've seen.
I 100% agree with that. And then you've got the guys who want to. You've got like what I would consider, Ryan, like you are collecting something that is historically valuable in the story of what video games are.
Right.
I mean, that is part of it, but I'm also just really excited to have VR. Like, I disagree. I think VR will do well.
Man, I hope you're right. I hope it's something that we all have to have, but I just don't see it.
And I'm excited about what... I'm just excited to see, maybe it's not the end all, but maybe it leads to the next thing. So I'm excited for VR. This announcement came during GDC. Andrew House, PlayStation president, also confirmed that there are more than 230 developers building content for VR right now. This includes smaller teams and bigger studios. Altogether, there are more than 160 games currently in development for PlayStation VR. More than 50 of them will launch before the end of 2016, and some of the bigger games are Eagle Flight, E-Valkyrie, Headmaster, Res Infinite, Wayward Sky, Riggs Mechanized Combat League, Tumble VR, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and PlayStation VR Worlds.
So, the only one I want to play is Eagle Flight.
Eagle Flight looks awesome. Everything that I hear, everyone actually says that Until Dawn is probably the most fun you have.
Yeah, which to me sounds sad that that's the best IP that they've got going.
I think that there's a lot. I think people are having to dip their toe into VR, and I think that is the one that is the easiest transition. And stuff like Eagle Flight is way more intense.
Yeah,
so I think that is the natural progression. Is that one? I'm really excited about Riggs.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the most disappointing part of all of it to me is still that PlayStation VR is not going to work with your entire existing library of PlayStation 4 games.
Right, you can play them, but they're not in VR. You would just be playing them on the screen, similar to the way Dan was talking about Netflix.
Right, you're just playing the games with the screen 2 inches away from your face. To me, that's the most disappointing part.
But I still think that has applications, like we were talking yesterday. There are times where you want to play and you don't want to have a TV on in a room or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't see $400 being the right price tag for that, and I don't see $400 justifying having to buy games that are only made for VR. What I see happening is the Move all over again. They put the little thing in the top right-hand corner that says Move required and then Move compatible. Now you're going to have VR required, VR compatible, and people are going to, this badass game's going to come out, but it's going to cost you $450 to be able to play it. And then you're going to have games like, fingers crossed, Project Cars gets VR compatibility, so you can play that either way. And then you've got games like Call of Duty that should have it, that you're just watching it on a screen. It's a mess, man. And I'm not saying that the technology was easy to develop, or that there was an easy way for them to make it backwards compatible, and so they should have just scrapped it all if they couldn't. But
I don't think there's anything wrong with not looking back, but I think looking forward, they do have to think about that with every game they build. I think it's crazy if you think different versions can come out. Like, I think Sony has to make sure they have a plan for that, because I'm not going to buy the VR version for $20 more.
Yeah, right.
So I hope their plan is to, now if they can take a game and say, hey, this is PS4, it's Vita, and it's VR, cross-buy on everything, like, then you're building that value back up. But when they start cutting stuff out or making it different versions, like, if I have to buy Project Cars again and they don't just patch in the VR stuff, I'd be pissed.
Right. Or let's say that VR gives you a distinct disadvantage because of the way it controls, and you buy next year's Call of Duty, and they put the VR players and the controller players in there, and controller players just stomp you when you have VR. Sure, the experience is badass, but what's the first thing you're going to do when you can't get a kill because you're in the VR headset? You're going to take it off, you're going to turn on the TV, and you're going to put your controller back in your hands.
Fortunately, I can say that'll never affect me, but I understand what you're saying.
Right. In that sense, if they're trying to capture a market like that, if VR fails in that way, if it fails with that player base, it has failed. Or I guess if it fails in that scenario, it has failed with that player base. You'll never convince anybody that VR is going to work on any Call of Duty subsequently, any Battlefield, or any first-person shooter subsequently.
But I think that's a typical risk versus reward of any project that you come out with. So they've weighed those. They understand that, and they've decided that the risk that the risk is worth the reward. So
well, that stuff exists now. Like, even in something as simple as Rocket League, I hear everybody saying, well, it's not fair because PC's getting a full 60 frames per second, and so they can be a split second faster when going, like, that's always going to exist. There's always going to be things that give people an advantage. I think as long as it's not a huge advantage, I think people will, if you want to experience it in VR, then you will, and if you're worried about being an MLG player, you probably won't. But if you're having it to, I'm buying mine to have a good time, not to be a competitive gamer.
Right.
So I think it'll work for that.
To me, it looks like something that's going to be single player only for sure. There's multiplayer, it's going to be a huge disadvantage.
Well, I think it'll work with stuff like rigs, because that's the only way you're going to play rigs.
Yeah.
So,
but if everybody's forced to use VR to play the game,
right,
then everybody's on level ground.
Right.
So you start mixing it up, you get into some trouble.
So the $400 bundle gives you everything you need except the camera. But if you don't have any of the stuff that may be required down the road, there is a $500 bundle also that is coming. It is coming with 2 Move controllers and the camera and everything that was included on the first. It also comes with VR Worlds, the game.
Yeah.
Which I assume is going to be, it's like, 5 family-friendly games,
It's
I think.
probably going to be a Playroom.
Yeah. No, well, Playroom is the thing, too. Playroom VR is free for everyone that gets VR, but then there is this PlayStation VR Worlds. I think it's like a Sports Champions-y type thing.
Okay.
Nice.
So in that bundle, you're getting the headset, cables, headphones, demo disc, the camera, 2 Move controllers, VR Worlds. That's going to be... It goes on pre-order Tuesday, I think, at most retailers with limited quantities. So if you're listening to this on Monday, you have tomorrow. And you should probably try to be wherever you're pre-ordering it first thing.
Yep.
Refresh that Amazon page.
So
yeah, I don't know. I think that's the cheap bundle if you don't have those other things.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Move controllers will now.
The problem is
before this.
The problem is if you have just one of them, it's not worth it.
Right. Before this, Move controllers were like $10 at GameStop, and they probably have jumped up to $29 now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, they're up higher than that, I'm sure.
Right, but they were $10 like
for years.
Yeah, like 2 months ago, that you could still go get one for $9.99.
Yeah.
So we'll monitor this. I am excited about it. As long as I can afford it, I'll have one, and we'll be able to report back. But I think I'm not
they're
saying
up to $25 for a Move controller.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's real
and
crazy.
If you want to buy one brand new, now they're $40 brand new. They're back up to original price.
It's fine. I got Move controllers like I've got opinions.
Yeah.
They're everywhere here. Probably got about 6 of the sticks and at least a couple of nunchucks. Whatever those are.
Nunchucks.
None.
Numb. Chucks.
No, none, dude. Like you're right with Jesus.
Like you
none
can't feel
chucks.
anything, and your name is Chuck.
No, none.
Numb.
No, none Chuck.
Numb. Chuck.
All right, Nathan.
Nathan. Chuck. Those are 2 guys meeting for the first time. I don't know. It's called the navigation controller.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called.
The little bitty guy. That
I don't even know that it's compatible. I always just see the actual Move controller itself. It's hard to say.
Next
story.
Xbox One price cut announced. Spring game sale detailed. Microsoft is temporarily cutting the price of the Xbox as part of a new spring sale. Beginning on the 20th of March, all Xbox One consoles in the United States will be now offered for the low price of $300.
God dang, that's good.
I know, this is the lowest price Microsoft has ever offered. They do say it is a temporary price cut, although in the past their temporary price cuts have always been permanent. So they have not said when the price is going back to $350.
I'll tell you what, for $299, man,
it's looking
that's
better and better.
That's going to make it hard to not go and buy one. Yeah,
especially if you get a bundle for $299.
Yeah, for sure, man. That, or if they're just like for $299, if there are just some games that you wanted to play, now you can spend like $300, and you've got it. You've got everything you wanted out of it, and you're spending less than it costs to go buy a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation VR or a TV. Man, that's a good price.
Yeah, I'm debating it. Gonna have to Try to do some nice things for the wife here.
I'm hoping that price sticks, because I'm not debating it, but I'm hoping that price sticks. And if that price sticks, that makes it something that's attainable later.
Right. The spring sale is going to start on March 22nd. As part of this one-week promotion, Microsoft is going to offer discounts on a variety of Xbox and PC games, as well as movies and TV content from the store. They're not disclosing exact sales on anything yet, but titles such as Fallout 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Far Cry Primal, and Rainbow Six Siege are all going to be discounted, in some cases by more than 60%. You're also going to see backwards compatible 360 games be marked down in the sale period. In all, the spring sale is going to include more than 150 offers. Next week, like I said, it goes on sale the 22nd. So you're looking at 4 days, 5 days, 2 days, Tuesday. This Tuesday. After you,
Okay.
If you're listening,
Yeah,
if you are listening to this tomorrow. But
well, it depends. That's misleading too. If you're listening to this Monday the 21st,
okay,
then
Right.
tomorrow.
if you're listening to this when it comes out, which is when
There you
you
go.
should be listening to it,
I don't disagree with that.
it's tomorrow.
I think you should listen to it whenever you want to. Listen to it
However,
three
the
or four times a week.
Xbox One will already be on sale. That started it's today when we record.
Bob Ross wants you to listen on Monday.
Yes, he does.
Bob Ross says listen every Monday.
If you need a alarm or a reminder,
Matt
subscribe
will
to us
set
on
one
Twitter.
for you so he can send you a message letting you know the sale started.
Just follow us on Twitter. I've got them programmed in there. They'll remind you
My
the
goodness.
minute it goes live.
My goodness.
And sticking
Yeah.
with Microsoft and some of the changes they've made.
Hold on before we move on.
Okay.
Yes, I am going to see Batman on Monday, and I can't wait. I'll tell you guys all about it.
Okay.
Don't you spoil that
I
shit
guess-
for me.
Clearly that
Yes,
wasn't
I-
the question.
Right. I'm going to get to see it twice before the next podcast, so
Ever
I
interrupt me
cannot wait.
For something that silly.
Well, I thought that's where you're going was Batman.
Why would that be where I was going?
Because as of this recording, it's tomorrow. As of the people getting to listen to this podcast, it's tonight, man. I'm going tonight.
Depends on when they listen to it.
I went yesterday.
Please stop. Please stop. Are you Matt, I know where you just said Matt. Are you considering the Xbox One now?
Yeah. I'm always considering the Xbox One,
But
but
at
it's
this
finally
price
hit,
point, like, does that move?
Yeah, at $299 now, it's a legitimate, like, that's something that I can go into Best Buy and like put that on the Best Buy credit card with a few games and an extra controller, and not feel guilty about like
Right.
spending that at all.
Right.
Like not feel like I wasted any money, nothing. Like that's a prime price for a console that's doing a quarter or a third of the sales that Sony's doing, that's got like 6 games that I actually want to play. Like that's fine. That's
so
fine.
there's a chance there could be some Xboxes in the future.
There is a chance.
Yeah, because technologically, that's a console that I'm interested in. I love that effing controller, and it's got just enough games that I feel like I could turn it on from time to time. And you know, that would be a good living room console, or a bedroom. You know, move the PS3 to the bedroom, put the Xbox One in the living room, keep the PS4 in here in the studio.
I believe it's the one system you'll need.
That's what
The
they
one
try
to
to
rule
tell
them
me
all?
with the title. Yeah, but it's not. I just want to play Forza, really.
Forza's real good. Okay, we can move on to the next story. I was just kind of gauging interest because I know that you've wanted one, Dan.
I have, and I'm slowly
Quantum Break right around the corner.
What is?
Yeah, not interested in that.
Quantum Break.
I
Dan
know.
is.
I am.
Yeah, from the gameplay that I saw, I really lost interest in it.
I think it looks good.
I was pumped until I saw like the quick like 15 minutes of gameplay through it, and then it lost me. I think it's great, man. I'm sure it was hard as hell to make it for it to be in development as long as it is, and the acting is great, and I'm sure the timeline story is fantastic, but it doesn't interest me anymore. I don't think it's going to be something that I'll enjoy to play. Anyway, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thank you for interrupting.
I'm off the rails. I'm
Interrupted
off
twice
on
in
the other
last
rails.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Rude
Whatever,
as hell.
man. You want to know about Batman?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Stop it. Microsoft. We're talking about some changes Microsoft is making. Well, in a letter from Chris Charlotte this week, he says he wants PS4 and Xbox One to connect online. He wrote in his little letter here, he said, first, in addition to natively supporting cross-platform play between Xbox One and Windows 10 that use Xbox Live, we're enabling developers to support cross-network play as well. This means players on Xbox One and Windows 10 using Live will be able to play with players on different online multiplayer networks. Of course, it's up to game developers to support this feature, and Xbox Live players will always have the option of choosing to play with only other Xbox Live players. They wanted to talk about Rocket League will be one of the first games to take advantage of it, which we already know from playing with Sony. And they gave an open invitation for other networks to participate as well. He did go on to speak specifically about the PSN and how he would like to see cross-network play between those two consoles.
So this is part of their GDC announcement that came with a bunch of other shit that doesn't matter. And I'm not even... So I'm of two minds with this. I think this would be great, but there's also part of me that thinks Microsoft doesn't really mean this. They're just saying it to put some spotlight on themselves to seem like they're the good guy. Because Sony tried this last generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Microsoft was kind of like, yeah, okay.
Of course, Microsoft was winning then.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But what's in it for Sony?
No, I get it. I understand.
What would be the benefit to allowing that? That's exactly what Microsoft wants. What's the benefit?
I mean, I'm not sure that's a need I have.
Right. Now, I do like the idea. More players.
It is. That is nice.
I only see it's applying specifically to Rocket League right now, right? You got PS4 guys playing with PC. Now you're going to have Xbox One guys playing with PC.
No,
correct.
Yes.
But there's no gap between PS4 to Xbox One. The PC can't bridge those.
No.
Right. So for right now, the problem that I see is on the PC end of it. You're going to be trying to queue up for a game, and it's going to be trying to split you between PC, Sony, and Xbox guys. So you can't get a mixed room the way that it would be easier to do. So for Rocket League, which is where this whole conversation stems from, I see how it's completely necessary. For Call of Duty, I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna implement console to PC multiplayer, like cross-platform multiplayer that way, for every game on both consoles, then yeah, bridge the gap and make it a triangle. But if it's just for Rocket League, then just do it for Rocket League.
No, I think Rocket League's the first game they're doing it with, but Microsoft wants to talk about doing it with others. But I still don't see the advantage for Sony, and some games won't work. Like, you're talking PC to console and first-person shooter, you don't have a chance. It's back to that VR conversation.
Right.
So I just don't know that this is... I don't know that they mean it. I don't know if this is just a PR grab.
Yeah, because this would be one of those things like certain games... Minecraft, for instance, you wouldn't be able to do because PC has so much stuff and mods. So this is one of those things like on a case-by-case basis is a great idea. As a blanket statement, it's not.
I don't think it works.
What I love is...
I think it's got to be all or nothing, though. I don't think it can work on a case-by-case basis.
Right. Like, so they could open it up to Rocket League, and I think that would be fine. If PS4, Xbox One, and PC could all play together on Rocket League, I don't think that's a game that really gives you that big of an advantage, and a bigger player pool is always a good thing.
Right. Now, it may not change the way that we're gaming on this console cycle, but on the next one, it may be something that's implemented from the ground up. All three of them can talk to each other. But I'm kind of like Dan. It's all or nothing. Either do it or don't.
But you're not going to be able to. I mean, I think people are looking at this the wrong way too. You're not going to jump in a party with people playing on Xbox.
Right. It's just
you might be matched up with them, but you know, it's going to be organically. You're not just going to say, "Hey, I'm going to invite this guy to my party on PC and this guy to my party on Xbox One." That's not how it works.
Right.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't think there's any confusion about that.
No, there's a lot of people talking about how awesome it'd be to be able to jump in and play a game with your buddy on Xbox One, and that's not how it's going to work.
Oh no. Yeah, it'll be like just strangers in the room.
Pool.
You'll just know because So I mean, I think the more important thing is that Rocket League, the simplest, free game that nobody thought was going to do anything that came out on PS4, has sold all these copies, made all this money, and now it's stemming this really cool development conversation that people are actually considering changing the way that multiplayer is done because of this stupid car soccer game. Like, how cool is that?
Don't you ever call it stupid?
Yeah.
Man, Psyonix must be so proud of what they've done.
I'm proud of what they've done.
I mean, that's incredible that they've made a game that's doing that people are going to change gaming over.
All right. Well, Sony had a response to Microsoft's little proposal.
Kind of.
Was it yeah?
It was not yeah. It was very what you would call the PC PR acceptable answer.
Mm-hmm.
What they said is PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between PC on several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on PS2 and PC back in 2002. We would be happy to have the conversation with any publishers or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. That was in a direct question, or that was a direct response to a question about whether it would be interested in working with Microsoft. Notice they didn't say yes or no. They said we're always open to the option.
They didn't even have to write that. They just pulled that from something they had before.
Right.
Yeah.
That was canned. That was just like, oh yeah, hey, do we have that cross-platform statement?
Right.
Can you get Jenny the intern to go back and grab that quote from 14 years ago?
Hey Bill, send me that email again with the cross-platform thing.
So of course they
they
gave the stock answer of, oh, we'd love to talk about it. They didn't say yes or no.
Yeah.
It's a conversation we're willing to have.
This exchange reminds me of the Hillary Clinton Bernie Sanders video that was going around last week where she was like, where was Bernie Sanders when I was talking about this and that change
he was standing
and this and
right
that?
he was standing
right fucking behind
They go back to a video from all those years ago and he was standing right behind her.
Yeah, like it's the same thing. Microsoft's like, where was Sony when we were talking about cross-platform play back in 2002? And Sony's like, it's right here. Here's the press release.
Right, we were doing it back then, too.
We've been doing it the whole time, dummies.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what happened. They said, let's link it to PC, and Sony's like, we have.
Right.
A long time ago. Two generations ago we did.
Yeah, so that's our news this week. Not a whole lot going on.
Well, they're meaty though. You can wrap your mind around and think about them when this podcast is done. Pull your car over the side of the road and just close your eyes and think about it.
Wow, I don't think you should ever be in your car with your eyes closed. I don't care if it's stopped.
You pull over, you put the emergencies on.
The flashers.
Yeah, you let them go.
You know where Ricky comes from? They call those four-way flashers.
Well, that place doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, right? Hazard lights or flashers. I'll take either one, but
when I took my driving test,
four-way flashers.
They said, turn your emergency flashers on.
Yeah, emergency flashers. Yep. I've always known them to be hazard lights.
I believe that is the correct term. If you look at like your car manual, they're hazard.
Yeah.
Hazard lights.
They are hazards.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you just like to put those on and keep people guessing which way you're turning.
What I like to do is if I'm on the interstate and I'm behind some slow pokey piece of shit that I can't get out from behind and I'm going well under the speed limit, I turn those fuckers on. Because I don't want some dude doing 90 from behind me to think that I'm also doing 90 and just roll up on me and kill me.
You think that that's going to keep that from happening?
Maybe you should set an alarm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys have driven in Nashville before. Sometimes you go to like dip off on an exit and it's lined up down the interstate for about a half mile.
Uh-huh.
I put the hazard lights on for that.
Let me ask you this: how am I supposed to see it if I'm texting?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't know.
Think about
it. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
We got any mail this week?
Right. We got mail.
All right.
You've got mail.
Mail call. Right.
You've got mail.
You know, before we read the mail I got to think in an office, like in a giant office building, mailman, sweet job. You get to push that cart around.
Yeah.
And just deliver mail, and nobody's mad at the guy that's bringing them things.
Do you watch Always Sunny?
No.
You should. There's an episode where Charlie and Mac, they become the mail guys for an office building. You'll like it.
The mailroom clerks?
Yeah, it's got what's that guy's name? What does he call it? Pepe Sylvia, yeah. Be good.
Cool. You want to do this piece of mail, Matt?
No, not really. I'm looking up. Didn't we get a tweet too?
Yeah, the tweet.
Yeah.
Dan's got the tweet. I need you to do
this
this mail because I have to do something else. So.
Oh my god!
You understand?
I got it.
Think.
Okay. So let's see. one piece of mail this week. We got a guy named Dustin Reese writing in, and he has titled this email "Bad Luck with Game Saves." Is this relevant anymore? I don't know. Okay, it says,
Yes.
Dustin says, "Hi guys, I listen to the podcast every week and it's an enjoyable addition to my workday. I was reminded recently of a situation when I was younger, and I was curious if either of you, because there's only two of us, have ever had a similar experience."
You understand?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We've only been back to 3 for a couple of weeks.
It was me and Ryan for a long time.
Right.
Right.
So,
he goes on in this long-winded
don't get
email to
butthurt.
say, years ago, I was playing Xenosaga Episode 2. It was a sci-fi JR... God damn, get to the point, Dustin. It was a sci-fi JRPG.
That's why
for the
nobody writes in, because
PS2.
you're an asshole.
You know what? Shut up,
It had
Matt.
a trilogy of games that allowed you to import your save and obtain certain bonuses, a little like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, except there weren't really choices that you make and carry over. It was mostly just your starting levels and item rewards, if I remember correctly. I think you are correct on that, Dustin. When I was nearing the end of the game and saving, I was greeted with the misfortune of the family cat tripping over the extension cable that was used to power the electronics in my room. We're going to discuss this in a second. Oh, thanks for here. He explains the outlets in my room no longer worked at the time, and of course my save data ended up getting corrupted. With my desire to complete the game in the appropriate trilogy-style fashion of completing each installment and importing to the next, I was too upset to know I have to play through the entire episode again, and then get all the way back to where I was in episode 2 to bother starting over, and never completed the game. Have you? So his question is that he finally gets to it. Have any of you been playing through a game that you enjoyed only to have your save file corrupted or made otherwise unplayable by a stroke of bad luck, preventing you from completing it?
Matt, since you read the question, why don't you go first?
Dustin, I think so, but I can't remember a specific time. But I'll also tell you this: you should never, ever have your electronics plugged in via extension cord to another room. So I wouldn't call this an accident at all. I would call this...
He was young.
Bad luck of the situation. It's just going to happen, man. If you're going to take that risk, it's just going to happen. There's no way around
Podcast
it.
about to go back to 2 people. It's about to go back to 2 people with your negativity.
Dick, man.
Oh, my God.
That's
4 pages of email.
See, this is why we usually only bring you on for your shit.
I'm upset
We
that I
usually
had
bring
something I
you-
had to do right then, because I would have much rather me read that.
We usually bring you on just for your shitty opinions, and now you know why.
So I have 2 stories.
Jesus Christ.
I had a cat who thought the open button on my PlayStation 1 was a toy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
So he would just periodically run over there and smack it and pop the lid up and then smack the lid. And he would just destroy anything you were doing, because as soon as that thing opens, you could never shut it and get it back going unless you're playing like Monster Rancher.
Right.
And so he would pop that sucker open all the time. And then I woke up one morning, Christmas time, PS1 on the floor, which is a great place to keep it.
Mm-hmm. Any disc-based console, just keep that right on the floor
He
so all
had
the vibrations can get to
smacked the open button, then climbed up in the Christmas tree and knocked a glass ornament off, which had fallen into the PlayStation 1 and smashed and scratched the laser, and that console would never work again.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
So that's one story. And then I was playing Donkey Kong Country on the 64.
64 cartridges got some corruptions.
Having the time of my life. The memory card, if you remember correctly, in the room, in the controller itself. Going through a save state, sitting on my bed, bed's a little high up, drop the controller, hits the ground during the save, ejects the memory card, and all data corrupted.
Oh, no.
Luckily, that game was great, so I just started over, but very upsetting. So those are the 2 stories I can think of where fate has played into the entire thing.
But, the only thing I can think of is that when I was younger and I had my PS1, my brothers and sisters who are younger significantly used to enjoy stealing memory cards and breaking them to make me mad.
Jerks.
God damn.
Because it's funny for them. Because, haha, it's the only way they have to get back at their brother who's 9 years older than them. So I remember, the only time it really, really upset me, I normally got them back, but they did break one, and it was, I think it had my Final Fantasy VII save on it.
Oh, no.
But I was literally only like 40 minutes into the game, so it wasn't that big a deal. But
I can't imagine being like
that,
almost
no,
finished.
that could,
with...
yeah, no, that could have been. I could be in prison right now.
Yeah. I mean, if you're anywhere past like the opening chapter of Final Fantasy VII and you lose your save, just trash the game.
Yeah, it could have
Also,
been. It could have been fratricide.
So you remember how hardcore eBay was back in the day? You bought everything off eBay.
Yeah.
So I had the memory card for PS1 that would hold like 6,000 game saves. It had like a little LCD screen on it that you could change between. Basically it had like multiple memory cards built into one.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the one that gets corrupted.
Those fuckers quit working all the time.
Yeah.
And you lose everything that's on there.
I mean, you buy the one from you go to EB Games back in the day.
Ooh.
And you get the one that had, you get the 32 megabyte card for your PlayStation 1 that had a little black button to change through the pages.
Right.
That's the one that messed up.
This one had an actual like a little number that lit up on it that was awesome that you could change between. Straight from like Hong Kong. They worked for like 17 minutes.
Right.
And then everything was corrupted and you were like, damn it, this was a cool card to not work.
Now, one time I did have, back on the N64 days, when WWF No Mercy first came out, the first run of those games, they wouldn't save. So you would play like a certain amount of time and it would store a little bit, but once you got once it hit a certain amount of play time, basically it would reset the game clock on the cartridge, and it would be like putting in a reinitialized game. So that's about the closest to this I've ever had happen, and all I did for that was just go get a new copy of the game.
Right.
So I've never had anything this unfortunate happen, but I'm sure it's coming.
Well, unlike Matt, I appreciate your question, Dustin.
Yes.
I appreciate it too.
Thank you, Dustin.
Cut down on some of the words next time.
Why? I like a story. If he had just said, "Has this ever happened?" I'd be like, "What happened to make him feel this way?"
Right. I don't need your life story.
No, I like context.
Yeah, because then you'd be like, "Why does he care? What happened?"
I enjoy context.
Did he have
The most intriguing part of this, though, is the fire and trip hazard of the extension cable that's powering all of your electronics.
Let me ask you this: if you were 12,
thank you, Smokey the Bear,
and someone said, you either run this extension cord in the hallway or you don't play video games ever again, there's an extension cord in your hallway.
I was taught at a very young age, don't use an extension cord for more than an hour at a time, and put it back where you got it when you're done with it, and don't daisy chain.
What prison did you grow up in?
Really?
Dude, I grew up with responsible
people,
apparently.
If you're not putting a surge strip into a surge strip, you're not doing it right.
Oh my God! If you're putting a surge strip into a surge strip, you might as well just pour gagasoline on the fire.
No, you're doubling
it's been that way for years.
You're doubling your protection.
Yeah, I'm double surge protected.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You think lightning's getting anything of mine? You're out of your mind.
Oh my God! You don't know how anything works.
I have that situation right now. I have two. I have a surge strip into a surge strip. It's been that way for years.
Dude, take that off.
No, I need 13 outlets.
Oh my God. If you have that many things plugged in on one circuit, your whole house is going to burn down.
Fine.
Dude.
Just
years and it's not burned down yet. Doesn't even throw a breaker.
It's a wonder you can even turn the lights on in that room without tripping the breaker.
It doesn't even throw one. It's fine. It could probably handle another surge strip, and I may have to get one soon when the NX comes out.
Dude. There's a limit to what you can put on the single circuit.
No, there's a limit to what you can put on a single circuit.
Oh my God.
We also, come on guys, let's stop with the fire safety talk. The fuck?
Jesus. Dustin, do you see what you've done?
Jesus, Matt, go have a fire drill. Shut your mouth.
Do you have listen, do you have it posted at each exit?
He's got a fucking map in his house of where the exits are.
You have a map, and
sure.
then you have an exit sign posted at each exit?
In his apartment with 2 bedrooms.
Dude.
He's got a fucking exit. Here's the windows. He's got the fucking ladder you throw out.
Do you have you have the rope ladder you throw out the window?
Have you guys ever seen the Royal Tenenbaums, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be Ben Stiller. When I have kids, I'll be that
You're
guy.
fucking ridiculous.
They're like, what are we having for breakfast? You're like, fire drills. Everybody go get in your bed and pretend like you're sleeping. Daddy's going to hit the alarm and let's run through it.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Right.
Are you going to have air raid where you get under something and get on your... Put your head against the wall? Remember, you guys didn't have those, did you? You guys
we did during the Gulf War, yeah.
The only silly safety drill is not having a safety drill.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Okay. We also received a tweet this week, or was tweeted at us. Garrett Wade, also known as Enjoy My Teabag.
Mm-hmm.
At Enjoy My Teabag?
At Enjoy My Teabag.
The letter N.
In, like in
And
November.
yes,
November Joy.
My
Got
Teabag.
it.
My teabag.
Says he just listened to episode 166. I'm not a fan of Destiny or The Witcher. I love The Division. Excuse me, I love # The Division. 30 plus hours in, and I can't get enough.
So we asked last week, or I asked, if you're enjoying it, let us know. Enjoy My teabag, also enjoying My Division.
As am I.
Right. So here's my suggestion, teabag. Maybe try to get a hold of Dan at Tolhurst 2002,
Yes.
and maybe you guys can hook up and you can divide together.
Yes.
Right.
Do some Dark Zone.
Well, I'm almost there. I'm almost there till I get into the end game stuff. So,
Thanks for letting us know. Thanks.
Thanks for the tweet.
Yeah. Thanks for the tweet. Also, thanks Dustin. I'm sorry
Dustin,
about Matt. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Delete every time you want to write an email to us, Dustin. Just write it all out and then take the first sentence to the last sentence and delete everything in between it.
No.
It'd be
You do
great.
it the way you did. I forgot. So the next segment is our newest segment, Gone But Not Forgotten. Here's why Matt had to read that. I forgot my week.
Oh no, dude!
But I have several options on a list here. So I had to then go in and pick one from that list. So that's why I couldn't read that.
Okay.
Little insight. So Gone But Not Forgotten is where we reach back in our gaming history, our past. We dust off a title and we toss it out there for your enjoyment. We hope that you can watch videos. Maybe if you can find it or you have the old system, maybe you can play it.
yep.
So mine. Jumping Flash for the PS1.
What a great game! The rabbit robot.
The Rabbit Robot. What was the Rabbit Robot's name?
I don't. Probably Flash. I don't know.
Robit.
I don't remember. Dude, I just remember the game.
His name was Robit. Like Robot
Like that-
and Rabbit?
Robit.
That stale ass world.
Robit. So let me give you some backstory if you've never heard of this. First person perspective, you follow a robotic rabbit named Robit who searches for missing jet pods that have been scattered. That's it. That's all you need. They're scattered across the world. You're searching for these jet pods, and you're a jumping robotic robot.
Rabbit. Yeah.
Well,
You jump real effing high in that game,
high.
too.
Game looks
Like-
real shitty now. Did not hold
The game
up.
looked real shitty then, dude. But you could jump like 14 stories high.
It was super good. It was co-developed by Exact and Ultra, and it was published by Sony. So, a little second party stuff back in the day.
The cover of that was just like the white robot rabbit.
With the bright red eyes.
He's got those beady red eyes, and it was like a blue background, and the title was in yellow, I think.
So you're sort of kind of right. Yellow case, title in
okay.
Listen to this, title in red, yellow, orange, and purple.
Jesus Christ.
Very much a product of the 90s.
I just remember it being stupid.
That game is great.
Weren't there somehow tennis balls involved in that? Did you shoot tennis balls from your face or something? I remember yellow balls, like maybe 8 yellow balls, or those told you where to go to get the jetpacks.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
It's a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
And it's really good. But it does not hold up at all.
Those beady red eyes.
So
man.
if you're my age, if you're Dan's age, if you're Matt's age, watch the video and laugh and enjoy where you came from. If you're 13, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast. But if you're 13, don't try to play this game. You're going to be upset and you're going to stop listening to this podcast.
You're gonna think we're all crazy,
Right. But this is a game that's worth talking about if you've never seen it, because one of the few first-person games that I adored. Aquanauts Holiday, another one. Probably will never be my Gone But Not Forgotten, because
it was never here.
yeah, you would have to have known about it to forgot it.
Yeah.
You can't forget it because you've never heard of it. It's a great game though. Jumping Flash PS1 came out in 1995. Check it out.
Got it.
95.
Did you play
Dang.
it, Dan?
No.
Is that when you were like, I'm gonna date girls and get a
Yep.
car?
95. Yeah. Actually, I was
You're like-
I was 20.
I'm gonna grow my hair out and just fucking rock out.
All right.
Is that what was happening?
Yeah, I was living life at that point.
You're like, I'm gonna play video games and fucking
Right.
hang out.
Video games are for kids.
Yeah, I'm an
like
adult.
beer and pussy.
I'm gonna get tattooed, drink, shoot up heroin.
Yeah, that was only for a couple of years though.
Right, but around
Right.
20s, right?
Yeah,
Right.
around 20s.
It's worth noting that the legal drinking age is 21.
Oh yeah,
Just want to throw that out there. Heroin, though, you can start anytime.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, there's no limit because it's always illegal.
Right, I've checked. There's no age requirement for heroin. That's good. That's nice of them. So, you need to follow us on the social medias.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. No, can't think of anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Just because it's amazing.
Well, is it though?
Yeah.
I don't want to oversell and underperform.
That's the story of my life, so it's fine.
It's there. If you want to follow all of us, we're at game_stitch. If you want to follow me, I am at Podcast Ryan. I tweet about once a month. If you want to follow Dan, he's at Tolhurst2002. He tweets less than I do.
Yep.
And if you want to follow Matt, he's at Podcast Matt. He probably does the best out of all of us, and he sucks at it too.
Yep.
I've been having
Is that
trouble
fair?
with my Twitter account. I keep trying to log in. It says it sends a verification code to my email, and then no code ever shows up.
Dude,
Oh, you got the wrong email link,
somebody
bruh.
else's email. Somebody's like, I'm not trying to change anything.
Yeah. Somebody thinks that they've got your Twitter handle,
Yeah.
and they're trying to change their password because they think they're locked out.
There's another Tolhurst2002 out there.
Good God. All I think when I hear Tollhurst is cookies.
God, I love Toll House.
I think Toll House, yeah. Oh, Nestle Toll
I
House.
always think
cookies.
Hearst Locker. Because that would be a good like updated name for you. The Hearst Locker.
The Hearst Locker?
Uh-huh. It's like a Hurt Locker, but with Toll.
Just
But
just
yeah, I
Dan.
know, I get it.
Okay.
No, I totally understand.
You could be the toll booth, too, which I like a whole lot. At the toll booth. That's probably
At
taken,
Dan.
seriously.
You think at Dan is
Probably.
taken?
At Dan is taken. I would 100% guarantee that At Dan is gone.
Oh, man.
You think at 20-year-old heroin using Dan is gone?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
I could probably bring him back if I need to.
Wow. We end each and every episode with a segment we like to call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. This week's no different.
That's true. This is going to be going to help with directions. Okay? If you have somebody, particularly, I ran into a situation this week where I was coming home from work, and someone I know that I'm close to was visiting family/friends at a hotel, which is fine. So I call this person, and they're like, "Do you want to, be there? Do you want to come after work?" I'm like, "Yes, I will let you know." So I said, first of all, I'm leaving. Once I was all showered, dressed, all that stuff, said, I'm leaving. Where am I going? Because it never occurred to anybody to tell me where.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that it's a hotel downtown. So, what they say is this hotel on this street. I'm like, okay. I'm like, is there parking? I had no response. So I'm going, and then I get there. Finally get there. Don't get any answers to any of my texts about is there parking. So I drive around looking for parking. I finally find where the parking is. I was hoping that someone could just tell me. So then I finally get in my parking spot, and I'm like, okay, so how'd you guys manage to get the whole hotel?
Right, because you don't have any specific room data.
Right. And my text, then I get a text, and the text is, what? I'm like, how'd you guys manage to get the hotel? Get the whole hotel? Again, I don't understand what you're saying. So I decide now I'm angry, so I do the all caps thing, and I'm like, you didn't give me a fucking room.
Uh-huh. That means I'm yelling.
Yes. If you're in a situation like that, just give good fucking directions, all right? If you're in a hotel, don't say I'm at this hotel, okay? Because that doesn't fucking help. That's a fucking... I'm in a building.
Yeah, you should get that. You should say the address is blank. We're in room blank.
At least a room.
See you soon.
At least if you're in a hotel in a room.
Right.
And if you're in the middle of the city, in the downtown of a city, let them know where the parking is. Because when it's 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, the last thing you want somebody to do is driving around trying to figure out where to park while all these other fucking dickholes are rushing to get home.
I still think the proper thing to do is to send the address, though, not just what it is.
Right, because it'll just become a link that you can click and it'll map to it.
Just do the work for them in Google to ensure they're going to the right place.
Right.
But I don't know why we have lost I don't know where it happened where we have lost the ability to just give simple directions. How do I get to your house? Oh, you go down this road until you get to the red barn, and then you go left, and you'll see a blue mailbox.
Oh, no, those
Give me
are
a
the
fucking number.
Dude,
Give
I'm
me
about
a
to fucking kill
number.
somebody.
No, those are the ones I like.
No, I'm about to kill somebody when they tell me that.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
What's the
Right.
road number? What's the road
You're
name?
about-
How many
Yes.
miles is it? Well, you go 10 minutes.
Yes.
Go down to the courthourhouse and take a left, and you're gonna drive 10 minutes down that road until you see the Burger King.
That's what I like.
It's 10 fucking minutes. What if I'm going 45 miles an hour and you're going 70?
Yep.
No, what I
How
like
do you know
is
it's 10 minutes?
10 minutes down the road when you see the Burger King. If you see Lowe's, you've gone too far. That's what I like.
I'll tell you what
No.
I don't like. I'll tell you something else that pisses me off to no end. I like if you do this to me, I will literally say, fuck it, we're not hanging out anymore. And when I say
Tell me what it
literally,
is.
I mean it literally. Do not tell me you're going to go down this road. You're going to come to a red light. Go through that light. Don't fucking do that.
Just
Tell me
you're
I
just
need
gonna
to take
stay
the
on that
second light or
road.
the third light.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
go through that one, though.
You got to go
Yeah.
through this
You know,
light, and then
the-
you're
the
going to go up
kind
to
of
another light,
directions
and then
that-
you got to go through that one too.
Here are the directions I like. You're going to take I-24 west. You're going to get off on exit 4. You're going to take Highway 79, 5 miles.
Yep.
Whenever you go 5 miles, you're going to get on 181 going north. You're going to take 181 north for 13 miles. You're going to turn left onto Highway 890 after 1.2 miles. The house is on the right. Here's how you're going to identify it.
Or if you're out somewhere rural, well, what you do is you're gonna get on Kendall. You're gonna get on Kendall Road, and then you're gonna make a left onto Roosevelt Highway. You're gonna keep going on that for about 10 miles till you're into Kent Road. You're gonna make a right on Kent Road. That's gonna be heading north. You're gonna go north for probably about 5 or 6 miles. But you're gonna come up on Marsh Creek Road. Make a left there, and I'm the second house on the left. The number's 21236.
No, that's not how I like it.
Oh, goddamn! You give directions like a woman.
You either
Ryan.
send me an
And I don't mean to
address
sound
or you
sexist,
tell me-
but that's what you do.
Yeah, you're an asshole because women can give good directions, too.
No, that's how every girl I know gives directions. So, like you go to the Red
what you
Barn, you
should've
take,
said,
you
how
take a
everyone
left, you're
you
going to go
know.
10 minutes, and you're going to take a right
That's
at the
what I
Burger King.
want.
That's how everybody down south gives directions.
Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah, dude, Dan, is it not the weirdest thing that people are like, you're like, hey, how far away is the mall from here? And people are like, oh, about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I didn't say how long does it take to get there. I said,
Yes,
how
right.
fucking far
Right.
is
I don't
it?
want to know miles. Tell me how long
Right.
it takes you to get there.
Technically,
that's what I
time
want.
isn't necessarily. Now we're getting philosophical here. I understand, but
Yeah, time is
technically
relative,
Time
like-
is
That's what
not
I
a
want, though.
measurement of distance.
I want to know how long it's going to take me. I don't care how many miles it is.
Yeah, but dude, it's going to take you a different time if you're going different
No, I
speeds.
sync my time up perfectly with what they told me.
No.
I set a timer. You should appreciate this with an alarm to ensure that I'm there right in the amount of time that they told me it would take.
No, dude. You give directions like my mom does, dude.
Yep. And me and her be able to find anything.
No, you wouldn't.
If you tell me
I
to
mean,
take, I hate when I get somewhere and people are like, "Oh, did you take 108 here?" I don't know what the fuck that means.
that's the name of the road.
I
It's
don't
the
know what
number.
road I was on.
If you opened up a map,
Didn't open up a map.
you're gonna see 108. You're not gonna see.
Is it the
Red
one that has
Barn
a
on the
giant cow on the side of the road? I was on that one.
corner. Jesus Christ!
This has been episode 167 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns for us, be sure to write in podcast@gamestitch.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter @game_stitch. Questions for the show, make sure you use the hashtag GSPQ.
Yeah.
We also need one more favor from you. Head over to iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you listen. Make sure you subscribe and or rate the show if that's an option. 5 stars helps us out, helps other people find the show, and we appreciate you guys for doing that.
We do.
Dustin, don't ever write an email like that ever again. Write in,
Dustin,
but make it
I
short.
love that email.
Dustin, you can do
You make
whatever
it
you
short.
want to because you're a
You
grown
make it
up.
short. You make it
Yeah.
short, or I'll delete it.
If Dustin writes in again, I'll make sure that email gets the proper reading it deserves. I'll say that, Dustin. If you want to write in again and you want to tell the longest story you've ever told, we'll make sure it gets its space and its time without Matt interrupting. We'll mute him for that.
Damn
I
right.
swear to God.
I mean, he can talk during the podcast, but when I go back in post, taking it right the fuck out.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. Right out.
Not to be confused with whiteout.
Or correction fluid.
Right.
Right.
Or liquid paper.
Mm.
Or correction tape. Which is what
I like the correction tape.
Yeah, it's real good. That's what, unless you're a psychopath, that's what you should be using.
Right. You like just making messes, then you want the fluid.
Who's painting with that nail polish type shit anymore? Who's doing that?
Yeah, was it 1974?
You keep right over that bumpy shit because you can't paint a smooth line.
And then you gotta wait for it to
Right.
dry.
Also,
Yeah, you
I
gotta wait
like
for
the
it to
tape
dry.
because it's instant. Yeah.
Who's got time?
I put the nail polish down, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. And I drag through with an ink pen.
It's a hot mess.
Damn
Everything
it.
you can see the one below. The fucking ink is running.
Yep.
Just get a new
Damn.
form.
Right. I've ruined this. Let's just start over. It'll take less time.
Episode 167. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.